What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Magic Game World. 2026 is looking absolutely stacked for turn-based strategy fans. We've got legendary franchises making a comeback, killer sequels, and some insane indie projects that came totally out of left field. I've narrowed it down to the 11 games you need on your radar right now. Let's dive in. Let's kick things off with one that's already out and absolutely crushing it. Menace from the Battle Brothers devs over at Overhype Studios. This hit early access back on February 5th, and it's already sitting at a massive 93% positive on Steam. You're commanding a ragtag crew of Marines, mercs, and criminals across a lawless sci-fi frontier. The tactical depth here is unreal. We're talking individual hit rolls for every single bullet, plus mechs, tanks, and infantry. If you loved Battle Brothers, this is a total no-brainer. You can grab it on Steam, GOG, Epic, or PC Game Pass right now. Now let's talk about a heavy hitter, Heroes of Might and Magic Olden Era. This is the comeback we've all been begging for. The team at Unfrozen is taking the series back to its roots. Classic exploration, resource management, town building, and that iconic grid-based combat. With 6 factions, a gorgeous new art style, and over 800,000 Steam wishlists, the hype is very real. The demo is live, the community is loving it, and early access is locked in for later this year. If you grew up playing Heroes 3, this one's for you. Shifting over to consoles, Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave is heading exclusively to the Switch 2 in 2026. It centers around a gladiatorial tournament called the Heroic Games, and it looks like it's tied directly to the Three Houses universe, mostly because we saw an older Sothis pop up in the trailer. There's a new Blaze Arts mechanic that lets you trade health for high damage abilities. We don't have an exact date yet, but expect it around summer or fall. This could easily be the biggest RPG of the year. Back to the PC side of things, and this one just landed. Solasta 2 hit early access on March 12th. It's built on the latest D&D 5e rule set, so it's basically the ultimate tabletop to PC experience. The big selling point this time? Open-world exploration across the lands of Neo-Chaos. You build your party, roll your dice, and explore at your own pace. If you want that authentic tabletop combat feel on your screen, you've got to check this out. While we're talking about games you can play right now, let's look at Slay the Spire 2. I mean, does this one even need an introduction? The game that basically defined the roguelike deck builder genre is back. Early access launched March 5th with new cards, new enemies, and a ton of new mechanics. It's got that same just one more run energy, but with way more variety. If you've ever enjoyed a deck builder, go play this immediately. Looking a bit further ahead, we've got Warhammer Mechanicus 2. The first game was a total cult classic, mostly thanks to that legendary techno-choral soundtrack. The sequel is launching spring 2026 for PC, PS5, and Xbox. It absolutely killed it during Steam Next Fest, and the devs have confirmed you can actually toggle between the original lingua technis, machine language, or standard voiceovers. Praise the Omnicia. Now, if you're a board game fan, this next one is really going to get you excited. Terrinoth Heroes of Descent. This is the first ever video game adaptation of Fantasy Flight Games' legendary Descent dungeon crawling series. It's coming this spring to PC, console, and Mac. You're forming a party of up to 8 unique adventurers and diving into 20 massive dungeons with fully voiced storylines. The combat is deep. Stuff like positioning, elevation, and line of sight actually matter here. And here's the kicker. You can play the whole thing solo or in online co-op with up to 4 players who can even drop in mid-dungeon. There's a free demo on Steam sitting at 87% positive. It's the tabletop experience translated perfectly to your screen. Now let's swing back to the Warhammer universe, because apparently 2026 belongs to the Emperor, with Warhammer Dark Heresy from Owlcat Games. These are the same devs behind Rogue Trader, so you know it's going to be deep. This time around, you're an Inquisition agent in an isometric RPG that's heavy on the investigation. It's currently in alpha and targeting a 2026 early access launch. If Rogue Trader blew you away, this is definitely one to watch. Let's switch gears to something a bit different. Mars Tactics, hitting early access in May. Think XCOM on Mars, but with fully destructible environments. We're talking buildings getting leveled, cover being blown to bits, and flat ground getting turned into craters your troops can hunker down in. 2 factions fighting for the Red Planet with a physics-based tactical layer. It's published by Hooded Horse, so you know the quality is there. Get this on your wish list. Here's one that might fly under your radar. Neath from Cellar Door Games, the Rogue Legacy team. They're going full dark tactical RPG with this one. You're climbing an inverted tower where a mad god's taboos warp the rules of every single run. It features a unique engagement system where enemies can freeze your party in fear, and you actually get to control both allies and monsters. It feels like a mix of Into the Breach and Mansions of Madness. Look for it on Steam later this year. And to wrap things up on a high note, Stormbinders. At first glance, it looks like a Heroes of Might and Magic clone, but it's doing something totally unique with its weather system. Global and local storms sweep across the map and change the tide of battle. Firestorms buff your spells, while water storms slow everyone down. Learning to manipulate the weather is a core part of the strategy. It's slated for 2026, and the dev diaries show some serious depth. And that's the list. 11 turn-based strategy games that are making 2026 an absolute banger for the genre. Drop a comment if I missed anything you're hyped for. Smash that like button, subscribe to Magic Game World if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!